Oh, good evening to a few, at least. Andrew, good evening. Andrew, good evening, Jackie. Jeff is here. Good evening, Jeff. Who else have we got? Pete Coombs, Susie, good evening. Good evening, Roland from Germany. Good to see you. Thank you very much for supporting our little group as well as Gabe's. That's very good of you. Tracy Murphy's here. Good evening, Tracy. Well, has it really been 2 weeks since the last broadcast? And Wales came very close to winning last weekend. In actual fact, we were winning and then threw it away again. I really don't know. And I'm not going to talk about that tonight. I've spoken about that at length about what I think of what's happening in Welsh rugby at the moment. So I'm not going to bore you with it again. Hooray, I hear you all say. Who else have we got in here? Kerry's here. Good evening, Kerry. We had a nice little coffee morning at Geo's last week. Kerry, Kathy, me and John F, and then a nice meal afterwards again at King's Head at Horsebridge. Always very pleasant. And actually, that's become a little gathering that's very important to all of us. But don't let it stop anybody else from coming to join us. We'd love to see a few more people, but I do appreciate it's really too far away for many people. But we don't want to leave our end of the world out of it, as it were, which is why next month we're going to do what I shall announce later on. Mark Burgess is here, who is to some extent going to be the star of the show in a few minutes' time. So, hello, Mark, man on the marsh. Good evening to you. Well, I actually saw some sunshine the last couple of days. It's something I'd almost forgotten what it looked like, That all this horrible grey, claggy stuff in the winter, it really gets you down. But, I did go out for a walk yesterday, and then there is a video on this channel. I've put a couple of videos on this channel, mainly to get things started, because what I hope is. Okay, Jeff, thank you. That's good to know. Again, I'll say it again. What I would like is if people have little videos, if you don't have your own channel, but you'd like a little video to be seen by the group, then you can use wetransfer.com. If you send me a private message first, I will send you the email address. I'm not going to write it out in public for all the world to see, as I'm sure you can appreciate. But if you send me a private message and say you've got a little video that you'd like me to edit and publish, or just publish, I will send you privately the email address that you can send the video to via WeTransfer, and I'll be very pleased to put it up for you. But as I say, I have started the ball right, mind you. Yesterday, it really brought home to me my problem when I get the traffic. I don't know whether I'm pretty sure it's some kind of spatial thing. I don't think it's my tinnitus, because that really doesn't bother me too much. But the traffic noise, it absolutely deafens me when I'm out there, and it makes me walk like a drunk man. But I have actually sent off today. I've ordered some earbud loop things that you just stick in your ears, like, if you put in headphones in, or what do you call them, buds from these hi-fi units, which I hope might help. If nothing else, it will keep my balance going. I did get out of breath a bit. Yes, that's true. But around about the place where I would normally expect to get out of breath, though I do keep an eye on the situation. But I'm still more or less as I was after I went to hospital and had all my jollop and all the rest of it. So I'm not too bad, and I keep a check on my blood pressure every day, and today's was absolutely fine, 101/65, which is a very good reading. So all the bits of Jollop and the pills and everything else I take, they seem to be working. I just have to take it a little easier than most, but we manage. Um, but no, I don't like. Oh, I really had to force myself to get outside that front door, and I really don't like walking around at that time of day. So roll on the summer when we have nice early mornings, and I can get in my car and I can go and drive to a nice quiet village or somewhere like that and do a bit of filming. And that's what I really must get in the hang of this year. And um, I've also got a couple more autobiographical videos to make because I haven't quite finished yet. Have we got anybody else in? I think I said hello to everybody else. Although Lynn's just arrived. Hello, Lynn. Nice to see you. You've just had a day at Alfriston and Berwick. Yes, lovely out there, isn't it? I don't think there's any flooding too much on the roads at the moment at Alfriston, but yes, nice place to go on a sunny day. And it was good to see you and Rich and Kai the other week at our meet down at Camellia Bottler. Oh yes, that's happened. That's happened since the last broadcast, hasn't it? Yes, that was a lovely meeting with Lynn, Rich, Kai, Ian, Ron, Elaine, and Kathy. That was a very, very pleasant time. Thoroughly enjoyed that, and thank you all very much for your company. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there were floods on the floodplain. What I was thinking of was the road. Was the road into Alfriston flooded, or did you come up over High and Over and come in from the Seaford end of it? Because that's usually the only way you can get in when the road to Silla side is flooded. Oh, the road was. Good grief. That does surprise me. Oh well, that's Alfriston for you. I know there have been times in the past when we've had the odd bus route driving down through there. Had to turn around in Drusilla's because we weren't allowed to go any further, but there we go. Mind you, I don't complain because I used to hate driving a bus through Alfriston. I mean, if you think it's bad driving a car, you try driving a bus. In actual fact, years ago, I don't know if it's still there, but certainly in the summer, they used to have a traffic warden or two in Alfriston who would make sure that the traffic was well controlled so that buses and coaches could get through because we used to have to. I don't know if I said to you this before. Down in the Willows, it's a nice coach and car park now. It was built specially. It's lovely. But before that, and I don't think we could have done it with the length of coaches you got now, but when we had sort of 30 to 36-foot coaches, we used to have to go into Alfriston and drop off at the Market Square and then go round past the smugglers and go up the lane up there, up round the top of the fields, and there was a designated parking area alongside the fields. And then we had to come back down in and make a horrible left-hand turn to pick up in the square, and then turn left again to head back out towards Drusilla's. I tell you, not something that I liked doing, but we managed it, and I should never for the life of me understand how there weren't accidents or anything, because you sometimes would have 2 or 3 coaches coming down ready to pick up. So you've got all these old folk thronging around the market square, and you're trying to weave through them and park in such a way that you're not obstructing the traffic. That was, I would like to say it was fun, but it wasn't really. Well, 15, watching. Very slow. I don't know about you, but today has been one of those days which has gone very slowly. Maybe it's because I was up at 7 which is the time I used to get up in the morning. But recently, because I've had problems actually getting to sleep at night, I've not been bothering to get up until I actually finally wake up in the morning. And sometimes that's been 8 o'clock. And then half the day seems to have gone by the time I've prepped and cooked my breakfast. But this morning I was up at my old time, and it was almost too quick. And the rest of the day is dragged and dragged and dragged. So, what have you all been up to? The chat seems to have stopped with Lynn telling me that the road was flooded. But I would like to know what you've all been up to. I can't believe it stopped there. There's got to be a fault, surely. I'm just going to move this to. Oh no, no, still the same. Oh dear. Sorry, I've been rabbiting on, haven't I? Instead of listening to you, because it's your club, your meeting. Instead of listening to you, I've been blundering on. Michael White's here. Good evening, Michael. Good to see you. Yeah, Kerry's had a birthday. So a belated happy birthday to Kerry, but I know she enjoyed it. Um, she was well and truly spoilt that week. And why not, indeed? Why not? Michael White, I've just seen what he said. Evening, ladies and germs. Ah, now, who did the evening, ladies and germs? That was Groucho Marx, wasn't it? Didn't he appear? Didn't he appear in something? No, no, it wasn't. It wasn't. Silly boy, Alan Alda, MASH. He was wearing a pair of flippers with a Groucho moustache, Groucho Marx moustache. That's it. Yes. Evening, ladies and germs. Yes, I remember that, but I can't remember what series it was in. But there you go. Oh, silly mind full of information, isn't it? Kerry says the Hydro Hotel comes highly recommended. Yes, it does. Yes, and so does the mortgage that has to go with it. But the important thing is, it was good. You enjoyed it, Kerry, and jolly good luck to you. I'm glad you had a great day. Yeah, Pete says we've been sorting out the house and starting to pack up for when we get a move. Do you know that? Oh, dear. I do wish there was something I could do practically to help you, Pete and Susie, but there's nothing really. You're too far away from me. Um, but yes, it is. It's not a nice situation to be in. I mean, I'm pleased, very, very pleased that you've got yourself a proper tenancy. You're in no danger of being evicted or anything like that. So that in itself is good. But I know, I mean, it's like my daughter Jane. She just showed me what her monthly rent is, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, this is supposed to be social housing. This is they both are with housing associations, not local council, right? Now that is supposed to be affordable housing, affordable rent, okay? Social housing. But how can that be when even up in Gloucestershire, this housing association wants £800 a month for a two-bedroom flat? Is that social housing? You know, I suppose, or are these companies on the make because they know that Universal Credit will pay virtually all the rent? I mean, even Jane's house, that's something like £600-700 a month. I mean, I know it's nowhere near private rental, but the whole idea of social housing is that it isn't anywhere near private rental because the people living in those houses couldn't afford private rental. But those rents are now so high that surely it defeats the object. Oh, please, somebody come and say something. Get me down off of my soapbox. For goodness sake. Everything is going very, very slowly tonight. It's strange. Well, there's not really yet. Although it says it's 22 here. 22. I know what you're doing. You're all having a chat with each other sitting around the tables, aren't you? And not involving anybody else in the chat. Oh dear. I we I'll do the Paris notices a little bit later on. There have been the usual tranche of videos coming up over the last couple of weeks or so. Um, Kevin did his ramble at the weekend, and there's videos of that up there. Um, Gabe has been interviewing yet another business that's opening in Glastonbury. Very colourful business, Catuas there open up, and a couple of right lads have opened up the Rhodes Emporium to take over from the Rhodes Gallery. I bet that's an interesting shop. If the two blokes running it are anything to go by, it's well worth going to Glastonbury just to go and see them. but, but yeah, and so the usual crop brothers, Pete and Susie have had one or two put up there, including a rather fast drive around their area through Little Rissington, Great Rissington, that used to be the married quarters for the RAF station at Little Rissington, and Burton on the Water. The only thing I would say to you, Pete, is for goodness sake, will you take those curves a bit slower? Make my heart sink. I've lost one already, and I don't blame her for going. I think this evening's going to be a bit of hard work, to be honest with you. But I don't work from a script, so and there was absolutely nothing that I could think of to start talking about. We're going to be doing one or two themes, but as I said last time, really only once a month, because I think if we did it every club meeting, people would get bored and you'd soon run out of topics to think about. So I will announce what the next topic is before the end of the meeting when we have when we have the Paris notices. Michael White says no ginger beer tonight. No, it's not ginger beer this evening, Michael. I usually do 2 weeks ginger beer and then I change for a week to save getting bored with it. I've got cream soda this time, diet cream soda, that is. And I have to say, I know maybe artificial sweeteners aren't really good for you, but the Asda diet drinks are extremely nice. Ginger beer blows your head off. It's beautiful. The cream soda is just like the cream soda I can remember when I was a kid. Uh, the dandelion and burdock is probably not the best, which is a bit of a shame because I like a good bit of dandelion and burdock. But they do other flavours in the same sort of thing, no added sugar and what have you. That they call them sodas, and you can get rhubarb crumble and custard. That's a lovely one. Peaches and cream is quite nice. So it's worth, if you're looking for very good soft diet drinks. You could do a lot worse if you're in your local Asda than go and have a look on their soft drink shelf. Some very nicely flavoured stuff there. Mark says good. Now we can start to talk now. Mark says, how was half term at the railway? Oh, well, trains operated to my station at Bodgham 5 days over the last week's half term, and Muggins here was on duty 3 out of the 5 days. On the Tuesday, it was the only day during that week that trains actually came all the way down. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they only ran from Tenterden to Wittersham Road because it was a Fox and Edwards Gruffalo event, which was very successful, very busy. But Tuesday, the World and his wife decided to travel. When the first train came in, we thought, there's no empty seats on that. And then the diesel multiple unit came in, and I couldn't see any empty seats on that either. So we had the TTI reckoned there was 207 on the first train. So that's 207 and 119. So that's 326 passengers on the first 2 trains to arrive. And then there were 2 more to take everybody back. The 2:15. Yeah. The 2:15, the railway had booked the dining car for a Fox and Edwards cream tea. So that was 30 seats taken up. There was also a booking been taken for a party of 28 to join at Bodgham. So the first thing we had to do when the train arrived was to make sure that we got 28 seats reserved, which meant moving a few people, which they weren't overly happy about. And to say that train went out full is an understatement. We had standing to what I think was just about pushing the legal capacity. 60 passengers standing right the way through five carriages. So, so you can imagine that was really, really busy. Fortunately, because all those people went back on that one, when the final train came in, because we were only running 4 trains that day, which didn't help. When the final train came in, which was the DMU, we filled about 100 of the 119 seats. So at the end of the day, we got away with it again. All right, Susie. It's. I don't know. I mean, if you're all chatting and I'm not seeing it, I'm very sorry. The chat isn't moving up very quickly this evening by any means, and I don't know whether it's because nobody's chatting, or whether or whether there's a fault. But it's certainly not it's not flowing out there as it usually does. So you're obviously not talking to each other. Oh, I don't know. This does seem rather weird. I've got these little bubbles going up through the middle of it as well. How strange. How very strange. I was talking about videos earlier. I hope you've all seen Jeff's video on Travels from Glastonbury web channel, where he's sitting, excuse me, musing on his life as he's sitting watching a goods train go by. That is a lovely, lovely, gentle video. And if you haven't watched it yet, then I would encourage you to do so. Yes, Jackie, I've seen a couple of remarks that you've just made recently, but as I say, Susie was saying anyone home. So there must be something wrong with the chat. That's all I can think of, because you lot, I can't normally shut you up. You're all chatting to each other here, there, and everywhere. Um, so yes, Jackie, I've seen a couple of your remarks, and the odd one comes through from other people, but I've no idea what's happening here. It's weird. It really is weird. I know I'm not at my best this evening as far as trying to get things going is concerned, but it's a bit difficult if I've got nothing. If I've got nothing to go on from the chat, um, you're just listening to me droning on and on and on, and that's not really what I want. Not really the object of the exercise for the club meeting. But there's still. I've just lost one. I don't know who's gone, but there were 24 of you there, and now there's only 23. So I'm sorry if you're not seeing chat that people are doing. I'm at a loss. To be honest with you, I'm at a total loss. So I'm gonna make a test here. I'm just gonna ask. I'll ask Mark Burgess at random. Are you there, Mark? And can you please let us know if you are, just so at least I can see at least one of you is able to get your comments and chat working. As I say, I know Jackie and Susie have just managed to get a. Right, Mark is still there, so okay, perhaps things are trundling along as they should do. But anyway, for what it's worth, as there's 24 of you here now, there isn't really much in the way of parish notices, but this one, oh, Gabe, okay. Yes, it is normally you having such issues. Yeah, I mean, this is a mystery. I don't honestly know if it's an issue or not. But we'll soldier on. We'll soldier on. There we go. Roland's in. Katie's here. Oh, Katie. Jeff's reminded me that it's tablet time. Yeah. Okay. I'll do my tablet and then we'll get on with the couple of parish notices that I've got. There we go. Daniel, good evening, Dan. Nice to see you, mate. Thanks for popping in. Now, the star of the show for a little gathering next month. Ian's here too. Good evening, Ian. Nice to see you. Will be Mark Burgess, because on Thursday, the 26th of March, we are having an event which I shall entitle Come and Meet Mark, the Man from the Marsh. And it will give Mark a chance to meet up with some of us, maybe hopefully one or two that he hasn't met before. We will be meeting. Now, I did say originally it will be at Rye Station at 11 o'clock, but having had a good stiff think about that, there may be one or two people that have got to travel a little bit for it, and it would mean a relatively early start for them. So I hope nobody will mind, but we're going to make the meeting time between 11:45 and 12 o'clock at Rye Station. And then that means that we can leave if we go. Well, the trains cross at Rye, so whichever direction we go in, we can leave on the 3:15 train. If we do it 2.5 hours, I think that will then give people time to go home. If you want to get there earlier, then by all means do and go and have a wander for yourself. Well, I think John F is planning to do that, so by all means do. But we will meet up at Rye Station between 11:45 and 12 o'clock, and that'll be on Thursday, March the 26th, which I'm looking forward to, because it will give. I know Mark knows one or two of us, but it'll certainly give Mark a chance to meet one or two of the folk that he hasn't yet met. and that means that we're not forgetting him because he's way out of the normal range, as it were. So I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully, Mark, you won't have to cancel that because we've done it specially for you, mate. And yeah, so that would be March the 26th. And also on the next club night in a fortnight's time, we will have our new theme. And this one was a suggested theme. It's what was the first record that you bought? Okay. Don't tell me now, for goodness sake. Otherwise, you're going to spoil things in a couple of weeks' time. But that will be the sort of theme running through the program in the next couple of weeks. What was the first record you ever bought? Which gives you plenty of time to think about that. Michael White's at it here. The three men I admire the most. They caught the last train for the coast. Yeah. Hey, hang on, hang on. You've got to finish that rhyme. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. What shall we do? The three men I admire the most. They caught the last train for the coast. They had their lunch in a converted oast, and of course they had to have the roast. There we are. Finished. American Pie. Oh, that was a film, wasn't it? I don't know much about that one. I've never been a very good cinema goer. I've seen very few films, and the films that I have watched, I tend to have watched five, six, or seven times because I like to really get into a film and get into a character. But it usually takes a couple of times to actually feel the character, and then I can watch it again as the character, if you like, and I get a much better understanding of the film that way, and I can see how the director's doing this little bit and that little bit, and how the actor has taken on the character. Oh, really? I know the song, Don McLean's American Pie. I didn't know that was. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. No, you learn something new every day, don't you? Oh, excuse me. I don't know why. About this time, my throat starts to get very dry. Luckily, I managed to take a bit of drink. I'm so thirsty this evening for some reason, and it's only Wednesday. Oh, I'll take a sip at a time, and then I won't be running out. So, Gabe, are you got any more? Oh, Jeff says the ponderer says he's chatting up a storm, and it is not showing. We certainly do seem to have a problem tonight, I think. And really, I'm not going to take the risk of stopping the video and starting it and again because that means everybody's going to have to tune in again. I don't think I've got much choice but to soldier on as best I can. Um, there is absolutely nothing different about the setup this evening. It's exactly the same, but obviously there is a problem with the chat, and for that I'm extremely sorry. If you can hear me, Dave, keep trying, old mate. Please keep trying. Other people are managing it every now and again. but probably not all the time. But Gabe, if again, like, if you see this and can answer it, you've got any more interesting videos coming up? Any new businesses in Glastonbury, or are you now beginning to start planning your journeys away? I know there's one you're planning, and I know that will require a little bit of help from me, um, but I'm still not in a position to do that. Um, but as soon as I've got rosters and everything sorted out, I will let you know, mate. All right. Even the railway has technical problems sometimes. This is absolutely weird. I'm sure there's more, and now it says we're down to 18. So I don't blame people for leaving if they're chatting and not getting anywhere. But then on the other hand, hopefully now we're down to 16. It says hopefully they're leaving and then trying to tune in again. That would be handy. Oh, very good, Michael. Verbal diarrhea. Now we're down to 15, 16 again now. I hope the folk that are leaving, oh, and up to 18 again, 19. I hope what they're doing is tuning in again and and trying to chat again. The numbers in and out are just going up and down like a yo-yo at the moment. What I'm frightened of is if I was to stop this and um, try and start again, I would probably make a complete hash of it. So I'm going to soldier on and hopefully now down to 14. Some of you will be able to find your way back. Um, if all else fails, it's time to get the hobnobs out. Well, if you want to get the hobnobs out, Michael, I will very happily partake of one, as long as they got chocolate on it. I don't mind. But this is weird. It really is. And if I knew what I could do about it, I would do it. But I'm not even seeing the normal screen here. I'm seeing me, and normally something comes up that shows me that I can log out or stop the broadcast, but even that's not there tonight. Oh, it just goes to show, doesn't it? Gabe hasn't answered, so it doesn't happen just to Gabe. It can happen to us as well. Only this time it's a fault with, obviously it's a fault with um, with YouTube. I tell you what I'm going to do. I've just had something come up at the top of the strip. I am going to end the stream. Oh, wait a minute. Well, I was just going to end the stream and start again, but I'll stick with it, Jeff, because you've asked me. There's not much of a schedule to talk about because in March we've got what they don't call it Mother's Day anymore. It's Parenting Weekend. Um, so mothers and fathers are celebrated, and the trains will be coming down to my end of the line, but it's all pre-booked, and they have to start at Tenterden. So there's no booking clerks required. Um, I didn't bother to. I didn't bother to volunteer for that weekend. But we start up regular running, excuse me, on the following weekend. So I start my Sundays on the 22nd of March, and I should, with one or two exceptions, then be working every Sunday right the way through to the end of the season in October. And a lot of Tuesdays and the odd one or two other days as well. But yes, it all really begins to kick off at the end of March and then into April, May, June, July, etc. So yeah, 22nd of March I start every Sunday, and I think probably yes, that week I'm rostered on the Tuesday as well. I don't know what's happening April onwards. The only reason I know I'm working Sundays is I come to an agreement with the chief station master, who's also the roster clerk, and I've told him I will do every unless I'm on holiday or something. I said I will do every Sunday for you, so you can put me in for the Sundays. You then have got nothing to worry about there, and so he's promised that he will do. So we'll see if he keeps his promise. But that's all I can say for the moment, Jack. You know. Oh, thank you, Michael. That's very kind of you. Yes, I managed to pass that. The AF, um, at the moment, at least, is not a handicap to me being a station master. I don't technically have to do well. I can't do heavy lifting, but that's why I've got platform assistance and things. So we're okay as that. I've got help if I need to lift anything excessively heavy. So that's all planned. I mean, there's nothing to stop me if I'm able to get people to help me. It doesn't stop me being a station master because it's not. Shall we say they're not safety critical aspects of my work. If it affected a safety critical aspect, obviously I would probably not be allowed to do the work, and I would fully appreciate that. But for the moment, the powers that be are happy with me, so I've got a ticket until the end of the year, so that's not a problem. I'm just wondering what a problem I've got now. Do I dare end the stream and start again? This is my problem now. We've had this before, haven't we? Kevin has come against this, where he's been broadcasting on one place and people have been at another one. But I haven't. I've only set it up as I normally do. Um, is it worth it for the last 15 minutes? I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to take the risk because if there's people out there and they're not getting it, I mean this is getting ridiculous here. If I lose everything and I can't come back, please accept my apologies, but I'm going to try. Okay.